get to March, you just got to win and get some rest. So I got Amari. I told Amari he's a great player. He's going to have a great career. You got to move on quickly in March. All that matters is the next game. So we wrapped up the Pac-12, so we're practicing tournament play. So that's the way we approach. I told him we're going to approach tonight as a one-and-out game. We're going to approach Saturday as a one-and-out game. A little practice, Ben. A little practice. Obviously, Jaime was awesome in the first half. It's our high turnovers for the season, but Arizona State, I give Coach Hurley credit. What he's done this year to be able to put this team together with 4 transfers that start, and for them to have, they got 20 wins? 19? 20. For them to have 20 wins, he's just done a great job this year, But obviously Tiger and Jaime had it rolling on offense. So.
With what you said about tournament play.
Yeah.
What happened at halftime in the second half? Was that like what you want to see? Because you turned up your level of game in the second half tonight. It was another level.
Look, the most irrelevant thing on this sheet is the halftime score. Teams that lose, how they start off the sentence. We had them at halftime. We were up at halftime. The team to win doesn't talk about the halftime. The halftime score is irrelevant. So it's a 40-minute game, and your effort and your commitment to doing winning things, defending, rebounding, taking care of the ball, getting good shots. You got to be more committed than the other team for 40 minutes. Teams aren't just going to come out and not play well for 0 minutes. And Arizona State's a really good team. Darren Savino on my staff grew up with Bobby Hurley. Literally went to school together, carpooled. Their parents shared the rides from like K through 12. So he showed me, Bobby said the other day, and I said, I agree with him. Like our league, Oregon had major injuries. Colorado's got wins over Tennessee, somebody else. Arizona State beat Michigan 20. They beat Creighton. Oregon was hurt early. Washington State was injured. To me, USC, once they've gotten all their guys, they're as good as anybody. Like, to me, they're as good as anybody. And I'm talking about, like, teams that are ranked 10th in the country. Not too many teams got 2 players on offense as good as those 2. And they get tough athletic defenders. So I hope this loss doesn't hurt Arizona State, because in other leagues, teams lose and they move up in rankings. And in our league, it's, if it's so easy to win here, nobody's done it with fans in like 3 years. Since my first year, right, the Stanford game. So, like, you can't hold this against them.
Earlier in the week, you were kind of joking about your coach's paranoia on how the team and the team's competitive edge. Did that kind of loom with you that first 10 minutes or so?
I'll be like that. The day that I'm not sharp on the edge where I got to be, you know what movie that's from? Heat. Al Pacino. Come on, Ben. Yeah, when I'm not sharp on the edge where I got to be, I'm worried about everything, it's time to walk away. So that's just, but also I know Arizona State's really good now. They're good. They really are. I mean, they're 10 deep team. They were 9 today because Nunez was, I guess he still had the concussion symptoms. So it's not like we've made it look easy in the Pac-12, with our 17-2, but Arizona State's good. If it was so easy, then why didn't Creighton and Michigan beat them?
And just last one, the offensive rebounding, 20 offensive rebounds, 18 second chance points. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I thought Amari was tremendous with his offensive rebounding. Obviously, he had 9 rebounds. So, and I told him, look, you got to go. It's just an area where we lead the league, and it's the reason we won the league. We lead the league in offensive rebound percentage. Jalen Clark had 1 rebound at halftime. He had 10 in the second half. We had a little talk at halftime. Yeah.
With what you've talked about the Pac this year, is your feeling that should you win the game this weekend against Arizona, you have earned a number 1 seed in the tournament?
I'm not getting into it. I'd like to be in the West. And I'd like for my team to be treated the way they deserve to be treated. That's all I'll say on that.
1 game left. Do you feel like Jaime is should be Pac-12 Player of the Year?
I would hope so. I mean, best player on the best team in the league. again, you know, my dad worked for the Braves for 30 years. Even Terry Pendleton won MVP one year. Baseball guys got that. Dodger fans probably disagreed with whoever they had that year. But, I mean, look, Tubelis is a great player. He's had a great year. He's had some big monster games for them. All right, guys, thank you. Oh, go ahead.
2 quick ones from me. I believe this is the second game all season you've had more turnovers than your opponent.
That's for Alex Timrose, and he's with Jaime at the radio. Ben knows. Ben says yes.
Okay.
But we had 18 more points, so
Yeah.
I'm going out to dinner.
And on a lighthearted note, where's the emotional gas tank gauge after a game like this heading into your last home game of the season?
Look, when you got good kids with good players and they play with a sense of urgency, you got a real chance. You got a real chance. But, you know, something you got to keep your eye on at this time of year. Can't over practice. You got to make sure you're mentally focused. We have big goals. If you don't dream big, you'll never make it big. So, you know, that's how we look at it. So, you know, we talk about, you know, we can be 20% better if we're better off the floor. If we rest better, we get more treatment, we stretch better, we work with our strength and conditioning people, our training staff. We're more committed to watching college basketball on the couch and studying the game instead of, you know, studying the UCLA campus and the co-eds. You know, everything we can do to be better. And part of that, like Jalen Clark talked about in our locker room, was, you know, we don't need to be worried about ticket requests and everybody trying to get in Saturday or the rest of the year. You know, need to let families handle all that stuff. We all need to keep our eye on the ball, because you know, the more you win, the more all that stuff comes around you. Everybody wants a piece of you, you know, and it's distracting. Kids need to worry about basketball and going to school. They do go to #1 school in the country, so not easy.
Hey, Mick, Crystal Rich, sorry about
Hey.
that. I know you're anxious for dinner. Just one last quick one for you.
Sorry.
In that first half, there's a bunch of turnovers for both teams, really.
Yeah.
But the difference was you guys were able to score 21 points off of their turnovers versus them only being able to convert 5
Yeah.
off of your turnovers.
And
How
it
big of a
ended up-
difference was that?
And it ended up 29-16. So biggest difference in the game. We had some bunch of steals for layups, which was huge. Easy baskets change games. So, look, when I was younger, with hair and not the same wardrobe, I coached in the Big East in 2009, 10, 11. Those, you know, I coached for 7 years, but those years, years where there was 11 teams in the top 25. Like you had to figure out how do you not, you go on the road, how do you just have a chance to be in the game? You cannot give the other team easy baskets. It starts with taking care of the ball. When my teams started making NCAA tournaments, I don't know if it's been 12 years in a row or whatever it's been, we started doing a better job taking care of the ball back in those Big East days. And that's when you turn the corner. You can't go on the road and give us 29 points off turnovers. It's just, you know, you're almost like, here's 20 points in the first half and then try to beat us. If they wouldn't have done that, they really had us, to be honest with you.
Thanks, Mick.
You got
Speaking
it.
of better wardrobe,
Thanks, Coach.
nice suit.
Much better wardrobe at UCLA, as I should.
Nick, is it scary that some of us do remember when you had a flowing mane?
I don't know about flowing. Maybe thinning. Thanks, guys.